Hi guys, so in today's video I just wanted to go through just a basic intro into inputs, outputs and the fader on your channel strip. So this whole section here is your channel strip where it says number 1. It's highlighted all the way up to this left and right pan pot here. Okay, now if we press I, we get a more in-depth look at this channel strip, and it's just turned vertically here. So same thing, and you can see they're connected. When I move this fader up and down, you can see it moves up here and vice versa. So first things first, let's go through a few of these settings here. So we're going to ignore a couple of these for now, and we'll come back to those in a later video. But inputs and outputs. So input is your input audio source or Midi source. That's going to be what actually creates the sound or where you're recording the sound from. Now this is a MIDI software channel strip. So the instrument or the input, same thing in this case. So instrument input, you have to choose it, right? So we'll just go and pick retro synth here, and that will throw up the synthesizer, and that is our input. The synthesizer is our input, so that's what's going to make the sound. Now, if we try to play something, we're not going to hear anything. So this is just Command K, bring up the musical typing, nothing coming out at all. Okay, but we can see that this fader here goes green, right? And that tells us that there is actually some audio signal going through into this fader here. Same thing up here, and it actually tells us that we go to minus 10.9 there. So there's definitely signal coming through, right? So our input's definitely working, but there's no sound coming out, right? And that's because we've got no input selected here, and it tells you just here, right? So if we click on that, we can go to output, stereo output, and now if I play, we should hear the audio from our input, from our software instrument, coming out into stereo out, so out to your speakers or your headphones. And there you go. So now we've got input going straight to output, and we can see how loud that is with this fader. Now the fader controls how loud or quiet the sound is. There is a bit more to it than that, and you can get a little bit more technical about it. But if I continually play and drag this down, it makes the volume quieter. And if I go back up, it makes it louder. Okay, other things we have on the channel strip are the pan pot, so pan to left or pan to right. So if we go to the left, you'll hear the audio more in the left until we get all the way around and only in the left. And then same thing on the right. As we go to the right, more audio will come out the right until it's all the way around, in which case audio only comes out the right. You'll see what I mean when I play. And there you go. So, and you'll notice as well as I do this, sound only comes out of one of the bars down here on the right. So, whereas if I move this back to the middle, you get both bars appear here, both green bars. And that's because we've got a stereo output, so left and right, and it's telling us how much is coming out of the left or right. So now it's only coming out of the left. Okay, so now same thing for an audio track. If we create an audio track here, I'll put no input for now, no output. And then when we get an audio track, we can see here, look, input, we select the input. So we could select input 1, for example, and then select output, same thing as the software instrument. Okay, now I've not got any input coming through input 1, so we won't see anything. But it's exactly the same. If you had a microphone and you selected input 1, you'd see the fader decibel amount jumping up here into the green, and hopefully not the red. Okay, so that's just a quick go through what the channel strip is, inputs and outputs. If, for example, you have some audio, you've got your microphone plugged in or your interface plugged in, and you're not hearing anything out of your earphones, just double check that your stereo output is selected and your input is correct. Perhaps it was, you've got it selected on input 1 and you need it on input 2. That's usually a quick fix. But yeah, Hopefully this helps, makes you a little bit clearer on exactly how to input and output things, and just a little bit about what that channel strip actually helps you do. Great, thanks for watching, guys.